All right, guys, it's time to ask our favorite book coach some of the questions that you sent in on today's topic. Let's see where Max is now.
Let's see if we can get this shot.
There he is.
Hey, everybody, how are you? Max Fortune here. And, okay, so what is today's questions, or what's today's topic?
Alrighty, so our first question of the day is from a Sandra from Maryland, and she would like to know, how do I become a self-publisher?
A self-publisher, okay. So how do you self-publish your own book is what the question is, it sounds like, from Sandra in Maryland. So you're gonna probably want to incorporate your business, have a name for your publishing company. You also want to possibly create some kind of logo design for the back of the book, and set up to get ISBNs registered under your publishing company. And so there's a lot of elements that goes into it. And again, what you can do is you can actually always call us or write us directly. We can actually send you that information. If you send us your email address, we can actually send you the more detailed information about how to do that, or really it's a checklist. So you definitely want to make sure you're having all of the things, but by being a self-publisher, you are deciding that you're going to control all the elements and bring all the elements together to make your book happen. So hopefully that answers your question.
And next we have a question from Joe, and he is also from Maryland. So Joe would like to know what your advice would be to someone who wants to get their book published, but does not have the time or money to do so.
All right, Joe, that's a great question. We get that all the time. I get that question all the time as a coach. And honestly, that's the reason why I started coaching, because there's a lot of people who don't have the time or the energy to kind of put all the elements together, or really it's more so the knowledge. Most people don't know all the different things that it takes to put a book together. So what they do is they hire someone who does. And again, that really is where a book coach comes in, a person like myself, where we actually kind of coach you through the process, see where you are already, see the strengths that you have, the areas that you need to work in, and then I kind of come in and help you, or a coach will come in and help you with the areas that you need help. Much like personal trainers, they kind of find out what you need to be successful. If you're, like I said, it's weight training, or if it's a pool trainer, somebody's training you on the pool thing, whatever that need may be. But again, it's just having someone, an accountability coach, more so than anything else, somebody kind of helping you along the way, making sure that you get or accomplish the goal that you're trying to accomplish.
All right, and Max, next we have a Mary from Seattle wanting to know what makes a book publish worthy.
Okay, what makes a book publish worthy? So basically, I have a kind of different take, and I think anybody has a book. If you have an idea, a concept, there's a lot of reasons why you want to publish a book, and it doesn't always have to be to make it a bestseller or for it to sell thousands of copies, hundreds of thousands of copies, or turn into a movie or anything like that. You may want to publish a book of family recipes to keep those recipes intact where they can be passed down. That's one thing I can think of right off the top of my head. Whatever your subject matter expertise, one of the things that I do, or what I specialize in, is I actually specialize in teaching business owners how to create a book around whatever their business is. So really there's no way to just say, if you really feel like you have something to say, I think that books give you the ability to say that and give you the ability to actually disseminate it in a neat fashion, hopefully, to the audience that you have. So I don't really think that there is something that makes your book publish worthy or not. Now, marketability is a completely different subject matter. Again, it's as far as looking into what the market will buy, that's a completely different question than thinking it's publish worthy. And a lot of times a traditional publisher will make that decision for you, whether their house wants to publish that because they feel like they can move 20, 30,000 copies of that book. Your book may or may not be one of those books, but it doesn't always mean that you shouldn't publish that book. So hopefully that answers your question. What you got for me? What else do you have? Any other questions out there from the good people out in
We sure do. So we also have a question from Jim, who is from Newark. And he would like to know if crowdfunding for a book project actually works.
I think crowdfunding for really almost any project can work, but a lot of it depends on your crowd. So if you have a crowd of people who are supporting you or want to support you, Sure, it definitely can work. Matter of fact, there's a great platform out there called GoFundMyBook.com that you can use, and you can actually create as an author a profile on that page, and you can actually share it with friends, and they can actually donate to your book and as they're finding out information about your book. So I do strongly believe that crowdfunding can work. Just have to, again, engage. It's all about engagement. So as long as you're engaging your audience, actually sending out this information through all your social media networks and email, sure, you could definitely raise a lot of money. And that's really a great way to raise money for your book project. So yes, the answer is yes.
All right, so today's next question of the day is going to be from Joe, and he's from Austin. His question is, what market should I target when wanting to get a book published?
Okay, Joe, great question about what market you're going to target. And honestly, a lot's going to depend on the genre of your book. So depending on what genre your book is, whether it's fiction, nonfiction, whether it's a novel about adventure or romance or whatever it could be, that's really going to be how you're going to figure out what market to target. So first thing you want to do is figure out what genre you're in, and then you want to actually do a little bit of research on where that target market goes to get information, and from there you begin to start targeting that market. Your market might be more of a market that gets information from social media, so you would kind of target that campaign around social media. If they are people who may be more prone to read blogs, then you do it through blogs, or you might have someone who might be more prone to watch a video based on what the subject matter of your book is, and then you reach them through YouTube or some type of video channel like that. So hopefully that answers your question, Joe, and good luck on your book.
All right, we have Sherman from Long Island, and he is writing to ask, how can I ensure my book actually gets into stores?
Well, Sherman, you can't, but no. There's lots of, it's very difficult, I was saying. Let's take this back. Based on your book, whether it's traditionally published or self-published, that's going to dictate a lot of whether you can get it into stores or not, or what stores you get your book into. So if you want to get your book, make sure that your book does get into stores. Again, if your book is traditionally published, actually a traditional publisher will make sure that it gets into the proper stores or the channels. Now, if you're self-publishing your book, that's a different direction that you want to go in. If you're self-publishing, it doesn't mean that you can't get into stores, but it might be more of the smaller instead of the chain stores that you go. And the reason for that is a lot of times is even fulfilling book orders. A lot of times a bookstore will want to probably have a relationship with you in a way that you can supply books, or know that you can actually supply books as there is a demand for that book. They're not going to put books on the shelves that people can't get to, or they can't reach you as the author. So it's more about establishing a relationship with your local bookstores. If you're a self-publisher, if you're a traditional publisher, again, the publisher is going to take care of that. The publishing house will make sure it gets nationwide distribution, or local, regional, whatever the distribution they come up with. But if it's a self-published book, it's up to you to make sure that you reach out to the bookstores in your area, which you can definitely do, and establish a relationship, even supply them with some copies of the book and information to get in contact with you, and work that relationship from that point. So hopefully that answers your question.
Okay, up next we have a question from Samuel. He is from Memphis, and he would like to know if it is necessary for him to get his book published.
I'm going to say yes to that question, and the reason why is, why would you write a book and not publish it? I see that a lot. A lot of people will write a book and they just will forget about it or put it off to the side, or even worse, some people will not even fully finish it, get pretty close, and not fully finish it and not get it published. So if you do go through all of the work that it takes, and it definitely takes some work and some focus to get your book published, to get your book written or your manuscript written, why would you not publish it? There's so many different avenues out there for getting that book out there into the world. And you know what? A book doesn't always have to be a bestseller to be a book that's a successful book. Books can do or accomplish a lot of different things. One of those being making you more media friendly, media worthy, or helping you get clients where you may not need to be a bestseller, but you can use that book. So there's a lot of reasons to publish that book. And if you have any problems whatsoever publishing that book, please call me directly. We'll bring it through Fortune Publishing Group, or if you need help with the coaching part, again, all of those things we can definitely help you with. So definitely reach out if you have a problem publishing that book. But the answer to that question again is absolutely yes, you should publish that book. Okay,
All right, so next we have a question from Rita. She is from Miami and she would like to know, how can I steal someone else's work and sell it myself without going to jail?
You may not go to jail, but you probably get sued. And I definitely would not recommend you taking somebody else's work and claim it as your own. There's no need to do that. I definitely wouldn't do that. So no, you can probably avoid jail, but probably not avoid getting sued. And maybe you should go to jail if you did do that, but I don't know. But anyway, yes, don't do that. So no. Okay, thanks for tuning in, and hopefully you found this information helpful. So if you did find it helpful, even just a little bit, why don't you subscribe to this channel right now? It just takes a few seconds. Subscribe to the channel. Keep the information going. And also subscribe to Ask Max Fortune on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. I definitely would love to hear from you. Also, I have a upcoming Entrepreneur Masterclass coming right up. And if you are interested, bam, here's the book. 90-day author course. My 90-day class for helping you get your book published, helping you get the information out of your head on a paper in 90 days or less. So again, I would love to see you in my upcoming class. Again, it's called the Entrepreneur Masterclass. You get a textbook like this that will help you to go through everything. Week 1, week 2, it's really a lot of great information in here. Went through a lot to get it done. There's even spare papers in here. So, again, thanks for tuning in to this video. And if you have any book, publishing, or writing questions, please make sure you send them in, or actually leave them in the comments below. And it just might be my next video that I do for you to answer your questions. And until next time, I'll see you next time. Thank you.